Hello to our honorary speaker and admin, Mikola. So, yeah, so next week, Mikola will be on his private part of his life. His
Yep.
life is not 100% open source. So, but so yeah, today I wanted to speak about DevoxxUK. I'll try to share the link. Actually, the window, the Chrome tab. Okay. Yeah. So last week, I think it was actually 2 weeks ago, there was a conference. It's called DevoxX. It's actually quite popular in the world. So I figured out that there's one way to benefit from conference more than just coming there. It's to help to organize it. So I volunteered to help to set it up and to support all 3 days of it. So there was all 1,000 people and a lot of speakers. And that's one of the ways actually, which is very useful for the community because sometimes you just don't have money. And actually it's better than, what I found is that it was actually better than if I paid for the ticket. Because, for example, I met people who are from Oracle and they're responsible for Java creation as such, all of it. So the chance of meeting these people is not as high if I did it in private life. I'll just check. So I've met Sharad Chanda there. He's my mentor's friend. One moment, I'm just trying to find his profile. Yeah, I think that's the one. 1 second. Oh yeah. So I'll just share the correct tab now. Oh, actually I can just do this, right? So this person. So we were handling tickets together and we had a number of interesting talks. And I met quite a few Java champions there, including Venkat Subramaniam, the world famous one. And also what was interesting is that, let me find a page for DevOps, is that actually there were two interesting things. One was unconference part of it. So apparently conferences allow now to they now have this unconference event in the evening after the schedule stops. So I made a talk there, and I even got tickets to a Java conference in Europe. I won't be able to go there because I don't have money, but still I got the tickets. And what was also interesting that in probably less than a week, all the videos were uploaded. So you can actually go through, I'll put the link here in the chat if I find it. Yeah, so if anybody who is watching it is interested, you can go through DevoxxUK and check the videos. And I think Devox Ukraine happened. When was the last time Devox Ukraine happened?
September.
September. So we can expect Devox Ukraine happening in September again. There might be a symbolic price of 10 euro to support Ukraine, but well, it's not a lot of money. And and it's one of the best conferences over there in the world of software. So it's actually where I met Bruno. So it's a good one. So I really suggest probably what people can do, they can take this link from DevoxxUK and they can take the schedule for the conference. I think the schedule was somewhere there, and you literally can choose the talks you want and have a conference experience. You won't get stickers. I've taken all of them. Oh, but I had conference cookies. So yeah, it was a good experience. So Mikola, what is your experience of conferences? I know you helped to organize some.
Yep. Yeah, it's great. You good thing you usually meet very interesting people, interesting speakers, and definitely it's very useful for you. Not only career, but for your development as professional. I would say it's more than career, in my understanding. Career is something more like business oriented, but in general, your professional life is more than just career, in my understanding. It's
Yeah,
no,
this.
it's yeah. Sorry, go on.
No. It's because there's delay. I thought you stopped speaking. No. Please continue. I agree with you on everything.
Hi Shiva, Krishna. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So the main idea is like career is like just your position. You're growing as a. It's quite similar, but personal for me, maybe I don't know if maybe it makes certain sense. But usual traditional people think that career is about how money you earn, what is your position, how influential you are. That's it. But in my understanding, I'm more people oriented. So for me, it's much more important how many really good people you are be friends, you are friend with. It's not like just just formal friend or formal co-worker, but for me, like depth of friendship is not something that someone must to buy you some car or home, but really people you can, just your level. Mm, it's actually quite similar to business partner. It's person you have quite reliable, quite honest relations. You can trust him, he can trust you, and in my understanding, it's much more important to have many people which you can trust than just like have some sound position or earn a lot of money. So yeah, that's briefly speaking. What do you think about this point?
Yeah, I think you're right. And also you can find. So first is human connections and human energy, which is very hard to buy with money, if possible at all. And so, like for example, I have a friend from Ukraine whom I helped to escape Kharkiv, and I just confirmed some news he had. But the way I met him was IT, so I'm not sure how would he met me the other way around, like because there's no way. And also, like it helps you to learn things which you wouldn't learn the other way around, or maybe you will learn them earlier than from newspapers. For example, you can learn that some very major companies are not hiring at all at the moment. They have positions open, but they have stopped hiring, and even if you pass all the interviews, you won't be hired. For example, you can find that that even very rich companies, they are not compensating flights and conferences to even to like a very people very high. I cannot tell names. I don't want to,
Yeah.
but it helps you to understand like the state of the industry and to understand. Sometimes it helps to understand you. Sometimes you need this third point of data to understand what business is telling you better, because well, imagine if you're coming for a pay rise and there's no money. So this stuff is interesting, and also it helps you to understand the problems in the community better, and to also to see the companies who keep supporting the community. For example, Sneak, they were the main sponsor, I think. Again, they had the biggest booth. They had the competition in finding vulnerabilities in open source Java projects, and you could win one of two Legos, and that was quite cool. I've lost the link, unfortunately, but I think with they have this code bash or something, which allows you to analyze any open source project with Sneak, and it will show you the problems, and then you can go and fix them. And that's one of the ways to help open source movement. I think I probably should contact my Sneak friends and ask them what was the link for this code bash thing. Actually, I think I actually will, because because Sneak is open source, and we can give it some more visibility. I can show Sneak, I think. 1 second. I'm just using not too many tabs. I'm trying. So yeah, so this is the Sneak, the one with the doc. So they have something called Sneak code bash, which allows to find the vulnerabilities, and this is a project to contribute to. Actually, if somebody is interested and doesn't know where to contribute to, that's definitely the one. The other thing is that, well, let me find the link. Meetup. There was this meetup, OpenUK, OpenUK London. Let me see. So this one. So on the 24th of May, which is Wednesday, we are having a meetup. And I think the original deal was that there will be Kunal speaking, but I think something happened. And well, there's a chance that I'll be speaking there. I'm not Kunal, but I will try to do something. I think I'll talk about Bruno's formula again. I'll make it better with I'll add the links to. My idea was to add the links to AD Hub, to Kunal, to OpenUK itself, to Elasticsearch test containers, and Sneak, I think. So what do you think, Nico? Sorry.
Did you like to share some link, or if I get it right?
It's not sharing my screen. Sorry for that. So let me.
And if you don't mind, can you duplicate it into chat if someone would like to copy it and follow later?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. That's why I need Copilot. So thank you, Nak. Thank you, Shiva. So that's the link for the meetup, and the link for videos was before. I can 1 second. I'm trying to understand how this thing works actually. So if I click, so yeah, that's the link on the events, I guess. 1 second. So yeah, that's the one, and I'll get you the link now. Yeah, that's the event. So now I know when I click show here, you get the link visible in the bottom of the screen. So that's OpenUK. It's also in the chat, and Devoxx videos I was talking about. It's this one. I really recommend watching some of them, but I would suggest going to the DevoxxUK page, checking the schedule, and from the schedule watching the videos, because there will be so many. The one I will watch will be one with Venkat. He actually made a closing talk as well. I just so probably this one, for example, right? So sorry for
clearing out your.
I wanted to switch to premium, but some ads are so good regarding IT that. So yeah, so this one might be interesting to see. I'll put it in the link. Venkat is amazing. He's such a legend.
Yep.
The only thing that I was monitoring a talk about. What was it about? I think it was about Java architecture or something. And Venkat was doing the talk at the same time. So the Red Hat person I was monitoring, he didn't have too many visitors, and his talk was quite good actually. I think it was about Quarkus actually. So yeah, that's definitely to see. So I already shared the meetup, right?
Yep.
So I'll probably talk there. What else? Yeah, basically that's it. So my idea is that what is possible, it's possible to get a list of conferences. I think there are a few websites. Best IT conferences 2033. 1 second. I'll try to find, because there were some links. I'm just, well, for example, this page. Basically, there are lists, there are websites which describe the conferences. So what people could do, they could select like 3-4 conferences per year and start participating there as volunteers. And also another thing which can be done is that, for example, if you go, I think it's Elastic. So, for example, not all of us can travel to conferences. And if conference is not hybrid, and by the way, this meetup is hybrid. The OpenUK one, which I showed, it will be hybrid, I think. And there will be well, that was I was told at some point. So it will be on Microsoft Teams or something like this, so people can participate and ask questions. It's probably not ideal, but it's getting better. But I was thinking about Elastic community, for example. That's another example how people can participate, because they have meetups all over the world. And I'm trying to, this one. So, for example, we can find that's Brazil. No, because I know there are more Elastic communities than that. Meetup, Elasticsearch. Yeah, for example. Okay. So, so for example, this stuff, right? You can just check. Oh, hi, Rahul. Hi, namaste. So, for example, you can check this thing. So I just Googled for Elasticsearch groups, and because I couldn't find Elasticsearch groups on Elastic page, not for India. I think there was I can find for like Korea and China and Brazil, but I know there are more groups than that. And you can probably like find groups like that in your closer to you and participate there as well. Many of them need talks. 1 second, I had this link, I think. Yeah, so this one. Example. So 26 groups which come when you search for Elasticsearch India. So, for example, this one might be interesting: Bangalore, Pune, Delhi, Mumbai. So, a lot of stuff. I think we can have Elasticsearch. Let's see. I'm not, but maybe I don't know. Yeah, so the Elastic If exists. It has space for growth, but it exists. So yeah, I know Mikola cannot do everything, but it's just an example that you don't have to recreate bicycle. If somebody is into security, you can just start doing Snyk. If you're into graph databases and search engines, then it's Elastic. And you can meet people like these friends. So that's from Elastic If. Sorry for my pronunciation. So yeah.
Don't sorry for interruption. And not to make to share a link to this community as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a good find, yeah. Yeah, I shared in the.
I'm feeling that I'm a little bit too lazy, so you are doing my job. But anyway, thank you for this.
Like, well, I'm just checking if Elastic Ukraine doesn't exist. But yeah, it will exist one day, Elastic Ukraine. If it doesn't exist yet, we can check actually. Elasticsearch Meetup Ukraine. No, probably I'm looking in the wrong way or something. But anyway, so maybe we don't have any questions. So Mikola, how did we can just switch to how our week went then. and we have a short session today.
For my week, the most focus was on the current project. I won't go to much details, but it was quite fascinating. I keep it like this, but so far so good. And I have some chance. I managed to finish one of courses I bought. I bought a year ago at September. I subscribed to Bruno's course, and at the same time I bought a Kabutz. You know Kabutz.
Yeah,
Heinz
Heinz
Kabutz.
Kavutz.
I managed to get his specials package, the whole package. It was with discount, and half of part of money which I was sending to buying this course was sent to support my country. So I couldn't resist this proposition, and I bought this. And some time ago, they had like not that cheap, but not that expensive, for especially for early birds, plan to switching from Java Specialist package 2022 to Java Specialist package 2023. It was really great. It is a really great package, but it takes some time and some effort to finish it. But it's really worth of doing. And I already passed the first course I completed for 100% was migrating to streams. Where he was talking about how to refactor your program to use latest features of streams in Java. And now I'm working on focusing on quite interesting courses. It's quite maybe like beginner course, but it's still provides a lot of information, which definitely not for beginners in my understanding. Right now, it's for I'm attending course for data structures in Java. I'm in progress, right now. That's what I'm focused on right now.
And your position is architect, right?
My plan is now, I told you, so really coming really deep, back to basics and refreshing and digging deeper. Not just refreshing, but digging much deeper.
Okay.
So
I wish we had more architects who go to Heinz Kabutz or Heinz Kabutz.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do much besides resting after that intense week. And today I filled this survey for OpenUK. They were asking interesting questions in OpenUK. It was aimed to people in UK, but it's basically all around how much the companies use open source and how much they contribute to open source. I think the business starts realizing there's a misalignment there, because we cannot be in the state when we all depend on Log4j, which is like few people running with not that much investment from millions of companies who use it all over the world. And when it fails, then of course it will fail. So that was an interesting survey. Then my plan for the next week is that on Wednesday there will be this OpenUK thing. So probably I will be speaking there if they need my help. And I think on Tuesday there will be introduction. Oh, that's a shame. So there's actually a meetup on Tuesday, which I will go. But the shame is that I had a course on Gradle booked for the same time. I will just quickly share the Chrome tab. So that's the one. So I think this is the one which is also, it's a RecWorks. So it's the same company which is supporting London Java community. I've got my ticket. They actually got the demand for places was huge. They actually found 40 places more. So not sure how they did it, but it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see about real world AI and visionary and stuff. So and also I found a very interesting course on Gradle. One moment, because I posted about it today. I'm just trying to find my own link. So because in Java we use Gradle build system, but what is more interesting is that so this is the course for I'm not sure how you will find him. It's basically from this channel. I'll put this link. But the thing is that like 7 months ago, this amazing person, Hendrik or Gendrik Johannes, he made this playlists of learning Gradle. And what is interesting is that now Gradle in official, so the way I found him was by attending Gradle training courses. Now Gradle adds links to Hendrik's YouTube channel, like links. They added in their training documentation on Gradle for JVM, and I think this shows you how far you can go with working for community. Because I'm quite sure that he knew a lot of this himself, and probably he could go a bit faster if he just learned it himself. But yeah, so basically, to be honest, it's like the plan for me for the rest of today. I just wanted to go through the playlists, actually all of them, especially this one. I still don't understand Gradle. The more I learn it, the less I understand, because like especially when they start mixing it with Groovy, with lambdas and stuff, and then because the problem with Gradle is that you can do one thing in so many different ways, and yeah, and especially when you're upgrading like 40 projects from different versions of Gradle, and they have like few thousand lines builds, then good luck. Upgrading 4 to 7 is almost as fun as 3 to 7. So yeah, so that's that, but that's a very that's an advertisement, sorry for that, but that's a very good example of how you can share, because there's Bilal way. So it's in a way like Bilal way, but I think it's more focused and it's deeper, because Bilal goes about different technologies, and Hendrik he's chosen one, and he's quite good with it. So and if you don't like something, you can create your own version. So this thing is really amazing. So I suggest everybody to pay attention to this way to help yourself and community. And just imagine having this stuff on your website. So yeah, I think for the rest of today, I will go through all of this and try it, hands-on stuff, and maybe create some content. So that might be a good plan.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Good then. So anything else you want to share, Nicola?
I think from my side is pretty much it.
Yeah. This Heinz Caboose thing it's interesting. It would be interesting to see your article if you have time, or post like reviewing the course, and because Heinz Caboose is well, he has a lot of interesting courses, and I think I liked his course. Well, the description of course on Java concurrency, because not that many courses do that. There is a book from 2000 something on Java concurrency, and with the trains on it.
It's it's my problem. I just maybe too greedy. I don't want. Maybe will be managed to overcome it with some time. But right now, I just want to spend more time for learning new than to sharing what I already just learned.
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing about the course, it's not just one course. It's the good thing about that package. You're buying all his courses for like for discount price, because that's it.
So
That's the
good.
case. That's the case. And
Is the deal still there?
Yep, I believe so. It's kind of Java Specialist 2023, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, but maybe you can wait for, I don't know. Last time I bought it at DevoxxUK Ukraine, and it was like 30% discount for your personal, and from the price you paid, half was paid was come to Heinz just to support his courses, and half he like sent to Ukraine to help Ukraine.
Okay. So,
So
that's yeah.
my hope is if you want to buy it, maybe, but it's 22, but we already have 23. 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know how to find it. That's the case.
Well,
yes.
they hacked it.
Yes.
Just hack it. Yeah.
And my suggestion is, if you wish, maybe you can wait for DevoxxUK. I'm not sure, but my hope is maybe he will have similar proposition. Hopefully, I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but who knows?
yeah.
So I just
Good.
worried. So you will spend your money and maybe buy for cheaper price.
Yeah, I'm not very rich at the moment, but I think it's a very good idea for people who want to. Well, some people speak and some people do. So sometimes it's the same people.
Yep.
Good. Thanks for sharing it. Still, it would be nice to see you. Well, as you do this stuff, like it would be probably
It's
interesting
honestly,
to.
to be honest, it's really relatively very expensive, and you maybe for price of this course, maybe you can buy a car. To be honest, not in my country,
Oh,
but I think it's worth. And I'm waiting to buying this course maybe for like let me tell you,
oof.
maybe for like 10 years at least. Yeah, first time
Yeah.
I had a dream to buy it, it was 10 years ago, but I finally decided, yeah, you must do it now, and I did it.
Well, it's to be honest, like in our country, it's a lot of money, but in UK, train ticket can cost you like 3,000 if you take an
Yeah,
annual
yeah,
train
yeah,
ticket.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's
Oh,
like good. So for those who want to walk instead of taking a train,
exactly.
good stuff then. I don't know if we have any questions. I don't think so. But so next Sunday it will be me because
Yes.
Mikola will have a privilege of taking his son to a sports event.
Yep.
So I won't be surprised if he comes with the first place.
Yep.
Please ask him to be kind to other
Okay, I
teams.
will.
Yeah, because he might be as big as his father. Okay, so fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Okay, then thank you for sharing this. So today we learned about number one about Java Specialist Superpack for
Yep.
23, and I think
Yep.
it goes for all the courses. We learned about how to participate in conferences as a volunteer. You just reach out to basically create a list of conferences you want to get to, and just reach out to them, but like 3 months in advance, asking if they need volunteers because what happened with Devoxx, some of my friends, they reached out too late and they were told, no, we have enough people.
Very good note.
So,
Yep. Agree.
yeah. So, if you want, for example, to support Devoxx Ukraine, because it might be online, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. So, let's say you want to, I don't know, stream it and write some volunteer some way remotely, I don't know. But you might want to reach to the organizers earlier than 1 week before the conference. That they will really appreciate it.
Yes. Good point.
Okay, and that's it. And also I mentioned this OpenUK, amazing thing. So Tuesday will be artificial intelligence group, and Wednesday will be OpenUK. I will see what I can share and maybe some actions to propose to the community. So that's it. And
Maybe one more
yeah,
final closing notes. It's interesting. This and previous meetings are quite short, but still, it's a little bit more than half an hour. But still, it's very important to keep consistent and keep organizing these meetings. Even despite the fact that they are short, it's very important that we are doing it. I really,
yeah, I
keep on
think I
doing.
think you are really right because if it didn't happen today, I wouldn't have this incentive to actually start doing Gradle right now. So the chance will be much lower, and the chance of me watching Ukrainian comedies on YouTube would be much higher
Exactly.
because there's so many. They just take this story of a couple because I'm divorced. I'm like I'm the target zone for this kind of comedies.
Target audience, yeah, great point.
Yeah, target audience still single. Yeah, yeah, it's good. So I hope that to be honest, I just fingers crossed, but I want to see Mikola at our next Devoxx. So let me know. So I hope it becomes possible, but we'll see.
Oh, I get hello from Rahul. Rahul, it's me. It's our community.
Oh, thank you,
Uh,
Rahul.
we are just trying to. It's not that huge as I wish it to be, but we're still trying to. Yeah. to keep this community, to grow it. Hopefully, well, hopefully with time it will grow bigger. Not sure. Maybe it's partially one of mine's responsibility, because I by myself I'm still not that clear what exactly I can to achieve with open source, and there are so many goals you can achieve with them. So maybe people not a little bit lost.
I have an idea actually, because there are websites for which show us open source projects. I'll just quickly check my messages, because I had one person talking to me about something. 1 second. I'll quickly check. So I'm just opening. Yeah, so I think, for example, this Atlas thing, I think they and few other websites, they show us the open source projects which exist. But I think what would be more interesting will be like, instead of competing with them, you could make a research on which open source projects are related to Ukrainian, to people who either live in Ukraine or who are originally from Ukraine. And you could, for example, interview them.
That's an interesting point, yeah.
Because not that many people will have this special connection. And especially now, well, I know that Ukrainian developers are one of the best in the world. They know math. They have university degrees, like the real ones, and many of them code from childhood. But not many people know that. So you could start promoting. We could turn this open source for Ukraine. We can actually just try to build a bridge and just to tell people outside of Ukraine which open source projects were either built by Ukrainians or are related. And I think it won't be that little. So even if you find 3 or 5, that's already a lot. And then you can just talk to them and ask, how can you help? And probably just going to conference, you could, for example, go to London Java Community online event and talk there about those projects. So because I think that will help more than, for example, creating. I had an idea of, example, Anki deck. You know Anki? It's I'll show quickly. It's this thing. It's basically for studies. It's based on spaced repetition. I know it doesn't look nice. 1 second. I will try to find here. So count required. I'm just trying to find the one with cards. What about this one? So basically, it allows you to create a deck of cards, two-sided ones, so you can memorize stuff. So, for example, we could create, and you can share those decks. So, for example, and we can store even videos, I think, now. So we could create a deck with Java champions. So when people go to conferences, they will remember these people by name and how they look and what they did. And that will be useful, but that can be done by so many people around the world. And not so many people can actually find the projects and actually talk to the founders that, well, I'm Mikola, I'm from Ukraine and Kyiv right now. I didn't run anywhere. And would you mind talking about your project, like online?
Yeah,
they can come on Sunday, or they can come like you're free to use our channel as you want. Mikola, doesn't have to be Sunday. So yeah, it's just a thought. Yeah, I hope.
Thank you.
Nothing bad will happen to me for advising, but yeah, we'll see. It's fine. I have air base not very far from my house, so I already I looked once on the hill over there. I imagined a new rocket flying there, and then I stopped worrying about the future. Probably I too much.
Before I forget, can you share a link to this DEX project?
Yeah, it's called Anki Web. I'll share the link. It's very good. It's based on spaced repetition, and you know what is spaced repetition? It's basically the same as Duolingo. When you let me share. Let me share the screen. Next time I can talk more about that. It's actually useful for learning languages. But
It's like a learn, fail, repeat.
yeah, so here, for example, I'm trying to find Anki web card. Yeah, so for example, this card, right? So if you say it's easy, then it won't remind you earlier than 4 days from now. And when it's 4 days from now, it will show you different buttons. It will be like to 1 month and so on. So if you know, for example, Trisha Gee by heart, what she looks like, it will remind you to repeat her name like in once in every few years. But if there's some new Java champion, which you just learned, and so it will remind you like daily. And you can share those decks and you can tag them, you can export them to Excel and, well, to CSV definitely. They support UTF, pictures, sounds, and videos, I think. And there are even some collections built based on books. Like there's a book, Remembering Kanji for Learning Japanese, by foreigners, and they built this book. So it's an open source project idea for anybody. Create a deck of I don't know, of Java champions. Why not?
Good point.
Create a deck of well, open source community is small, but I'm not sure it's like you can create a mix of decks, but especially for like I have problem with human names, so probably I should use this thing for myself. I need to remember important names or just names. There was a president of United States, I think Roosevelt. He remembered basically everybody he ever met, and from taxi driver to presidents. And it was like his card, like visit card. He always like talked to people by their name, and it really helps. So yeah, so that's probably next week I can. I wish I did this Java Champions one on QWeb. Let's check if it exists. I don't think it exists. No, but yeah, it exists for Java questions, but not for people think. Okay, good. So again, everybody is welcome to check DevoxxUK videos and comment on them. I think Bruno mentioned some artificial intelligence thing, Bruno Souza, which allows to take this text from the video, but I forgot this one. I forgot it. I'll ask Bruno again tomorrow. So, okay, thank you for support. Дякую за підтримку. Sorry, I'm drawing. Yeah, and thank you, Mikola, for everything.
Thank you. If it doesn't mind,
Yeah,
stay for a couple of seconds after
Yeah, of course.
live.
Okay, so we are closing live, but we are staying in the stream.